Tonight, the Indiana Pacers roll into State Farm Arena at 7:30 p.m. local for a high-stakes rematch. The Pacers took the first meeting back in October, but with both squads battered and bruised, this is about who has the deeper clutch gene. It's revenge season for the Hawks, and they're looking to protect the home floor. Current form and ratings, Atlanta is finding its rhythm, riding a 2-game win streak behind a top 10. Offense averaging 117.4 PPG. However, their defense is still a sieve, ranking bottom 5 with a 118.7 defensive rating. Indiana is reeling, dropping 4 of their last 6, but they just stunned the Thunder. They're gritty, but they lack the firepower, averaging just 110.1 points per 100 possessions. The X factor, injuries. The injury report is a graveyard. Indiana is officially without superstar Tyrese Halliburton, Achilles, and Obi Toppin, leaving them thin in the front court. Atlanta isn't unscathed, missing Kristaps Porzingis and rookie Zachary Rissaker. This shift puts the weight of the world on the secondaries, playmakers to step up down the stretch. Star matchup. It's a battle of the versatile wings. Jalen Johnson is blossoming into a triple-double threat, rocking a stellar 60.2% true shooting percentage. He'll be locked in with Pascal Siakam, the Pacers' lone veteran anchor. Spicy P is hovering at a 58% TS percent, making this a technical clinic in the paint and on the break. Tactical breakdown. Watch the high pick and roll. Without Halliburton, Indy is relying on Andrew Nembhard to orchestrate. If the Hawks can trap him early and force the others to beat them, the Pacers' offense will stall. Expect Atlanta to use Onyeka Okongwu to switch everything and disrupt that flow. The betting corner. The Hawks open as 5.0 favorites with an over-under of 233.5. Why? Because Atlanta plays at a breakneck pace, and Indy's defense has struggled without their defensive anchors. For the Sharps, the under has been hitting lately for both, but Atlanta's home energy usually spells points. Final prediction, I'm taking the home team in a high-scoring dogfight. Johnson is too much for Indy's thin rotation. Final score, Hawks 118, Pacers 113. Trap game alert, the Sixers are rolling into Charlotte tonight. But don't let the records fool you. With the East standings tightening up, Philly is playing a dangerous game of injury report roulette. Hey, it's Stowe Diados. Can Tyrese Maxey carry the load? Or are the Hornets about to buzz their way to an upset? Let's dive in. Current form and ratings. Philly comes in 24-20, dropping a heartbreaker to the Knicks despite a monster 38 from JoJo. Their offensive rating is a top-tier 116.6, but the defense has been leaky lately. Meanwhile, Charlotte is 18-28, but sneaky hot, winning 3 of their last 5 with an improved transition offense that's catching teams off guard. The X factor, injuries. The big story, Joel Embiid and Paul George are back on injury management watch. If they sit, Philly loses its rim protection and secondary scoring. That opens the door wide for Brandon Miller to attack. The rack without fear of the process, swatting it away. Star matchup. The duel is at the point. Tyrese Maxey is a human torch right now. 30 PPG on a lethal, 59.7% true shooting. He faces LaMelo Ball, who's averaging 19.4 points and nearly 8 dimes. Maxey has the clutch gene, but Melo's playmaking can dismantle a shorthanded Philly defense. Tactical breakdown. Watch the high pick and roll. If Embiid is out, Charlotte will spam the screen and roll to pull Andre Drummond into space. If the Hornets can collapse the paint and kick to their shooters, the Sixers' perimeter defense will be in for a long night. The betting corner. The Hornets are surprisingly 3.5-point favorites. The bookies are banking on Philly's stars resting. The over-under is set at 227.05. I'm eyeing the over. Both. These teams love a high-paced track meet. Final prediction, Philly fights hard, but the Hornets' depth at home is the difference maker. Final score, Hornets 118, 76ers 112. Forget the future, the battle for the Eastern Conference's middle class is happening right now. We've got the Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Orlando Magic at Rocket Arena, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Cleveland is riding a 3-game win streak, looking to cement their top 5 seed, while Orlando is desperate to snap a slide and avoid the play-in trap. It's a rematch of Saturday's blowout. Will the Magic find their rebound? Or will the Cavs bury them again? Current form and ratings, Cleveland is scorching, going 7-3 in their last 10 with a top 10. Offensive rating of 116.3. Orlando is stumbling, dropping 3 straight with a middle-of-the-pack 114.1 off rating. Both squads are locked in defensively, giving up nearly identical points per 100 possessions, making this a true grit-and-grind affair. The X Factor, injuries. The Mace unit continues for Cleveland. Darius Garland and Max Struss are still out, thinning the perimeter. But the Magic are hurting more. Losing Franz Wagner, ankle, has killed their secondary playmaking. Orlando needs Jalen Suggs, probable to be a lockdown pest to stand a chance. Star matchup. It's Donovan Mitchell versus Paolo Banchero. Mitchell is playing at an MVP level with a massive 63.1% true shooting. Compare that to Banchero's 53.9% TS. Paolo has the volume, but Spida has the efficiency and the clutch gene to take over down the stretch. Tactical breakdown. Watch the high pick and roll. Cleveland uses it to force switches, getting Mitchell onto bigs. Orlando's strategy, ice the screen and force the Cavs into the paint where Jared Allen and Evan Mobley wait. If Orlando can't rotate fast enough to the corners, they're cooked. The betting corner. The spread is Cavs. 4.5 with a total of 225.5. The over has hit in 70% of the Cavs' last 10 because their pace has skyrocketed to 4th in the league. I'm eyeing the Cavs to cover. Final prediction. Cleveland stays hot at home. Cavs 120, Magic 112. Revenge is on the menu at TD Garden. The Boston Celtics are looking to avenge a December upset as they host the Portland Trail Blazers tonight at 8 p.m. ET. Boston is fighting to regain the #1 seed in the East, while Portland is desperately clawing to stay in the West play-in picture. It's a classic battle of contender versus spoiler under the bright lights of the Garden. Current form and ratings, Boston enters 3-2 in their last 5, boasting a league-best 3 defensive rating, 110.3. Portland, however, has been a surprise, going 4-1 recently despite a shaky 22 ranked defense, 117.8. Boston's net rating remains elite, but the Blazers are playing high-octane basketball right now. The X Factor, injuries. The injury bug is biting hard. Boston is without superstar Jason Tatum, Achilles, putting the weight on Jaylen Brown's shoulders. Portland is even more depleted, missing Scoot Henderson and Matisse Thybulle, making their bench depth a major concern down the stretch. Star matchup. It's Jaylen Brown versus Denny Avdija. Brown is a walking bucket, averaging 29.8. PPG with a massive 22.4. Per Avdija has evolved into a triple-double threat with an efficient 61.6% true shooting. Can Denny out-facilitate Brown's raw scoring power? Tactical breakdown. Watch for Boston's switch-all defense to stifle Portland's high pick and roll. Without a true playmaker, Portland often stalls in the half court. If Boston forces the Blazers into contested ISOs, this could get ugly early. The betting corner. The Celtics are 8.5 favorites with the OU set at 224.5. Boston's defense usually keeps scores low, but with Tatum out, expect a faster pace. I'm leaning over. Both teams are top tier in fast break points this month. Final prediction. Celtics protect home court behind a 35-point night from Brown. Final score, Celtics 118, Trailblazers 109. Chicago is electric tonight. We've got a massive cross-conference clash as the Bulls look to extend their 4-game win streak against a Lakers squad led by the league's leading scorer, Luka Doncic. It's more than just a game. It's a battle of momentum versus star power. Can the Bulls defend the United Center, or will the Lakers' high-octane offense silence the crowd? Current form and ratings. Bulls red hot, 4-0 in their last 4, sitting at 23-22. Offensive rating is top 10, 117.9 PPG, but they struggle defensively, ranked 26th, allowing 119.7 PPG. Lakers, solid 27-17. They average 116 PPG, 17th, and give up the same. They are middle of the pack, but dangerous on the road. The X Factor, injuries. The Lakers Lakers are thin in the backcourt with Austin Reeves, calf, out. The Bulls are missing Zach Collins and Trey Jones, which severely dents their bench depth. Expect heavy minutes for the starters down the stretch. Star matchup, it's Luka Doncic versus Josh Giddey. Luka is a triple-double threat every night, averaging a league-best 33.4 PPG with an elite true shooting percent. Giddey is the engine for Chicago, flirting with a triple-double average. Himself, 18.8, 8.9. Tactical breakdown. Watch the high pick and roll. Chicago must trap Luka early to force the ball out of his hands. If they let him get in the paint comfortably, it's game over. The betting corner. The Lakers are slim 1.5-point favorites. The over-under is set high at 236.5. Why? Both teams have leaky defenses and elite playmakers. I'm leaning toward the over. Final prediction. Bulls ride the home energy. Bulls 122, Lakers 118. Target Center is about to explode. Tonight at 8:30 p.m. local time, the Minnesota Timberwolves are hunting for blood. After getting absolutely waxed by 26 points just 24 hours ago, the Wolves are staring down a season-high 5-game losing streak. It's not just a game, it's a desperate stand to stay in the West's top 6. Can Anthony Edwards stop the bleeding, or is the chef about to cook him again? Current form and ratings, Minnesota's sliding, but don't sleep there. Still rocking a top-tier offensive rating of so. Meanwhile, the Warriors have won 7 of their last 10, boasting a defensive efficiency that snatched 20 steals last night. Golden State is humming at the right time. Minnesota is cold as ice. The X Factor, injuries. The Warriors are thin. Jimmy Butler is out for the season, and Jonathan Kuminga is sidelined with a bone bruise. All eyes are on Steph's questionable status with knee soreness. If he sits, the Dubs lose 27 points in elite spacing. For the Wolves, they're healthy, but emotionally rattled. Star matchup, Ant-Man versus the Chef. Edwards is rocking a 62.9% true shooting, carrying the load with 32 last game. But Steph is the efficiency king, sporting a 63.4% TS and leading the league in triples. It's elite athleticism versus the greatest range in history. Tactical breakdown. Expect the Wolves to punish the high pick and roll. Last game, the Dubs' pressure forced 25 turnovers. Minnesota has to use Gobert and Randall to clog the paint and force Golden stayed into a half court grind instead of a track meet. The betting corner. The spread is sitting at Wolves 7.5 with a total of Vegas expects a massive bounce back from many at home, but with the way they've been turning it over, that under looks tempting if the pace slows down. Final prediction, I'm calling it. Wolves dig deep and snap the streak in a nail biter. Timberwolves 1-16, Warriors 1-10.